Pat Bev.
Pat Bev.
And I don't know where to start with this one. So this is what I'll say. I'm all for trash talking. I'm all for confidence. I'm all for whatever it is you have to do to get yourself going again. Now, if they were still in the playoffs, I'd understand the animosity. This is where I'm going to go with this, Sam. Pat Beverley's comments about Chris Paul. And so we saw a bunch of players stand up for him, Matt Barnes being one on ESPN. You've seen some other guys saying he's completely out of pocket. I'm going to agree with them. And this is why. Chris Paul is a Hall of Famer. Chris Paul is one of the best point guards that we've seen in this NBA history. Chris Paul, when you put him back in his prime and you put him back with DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin, fast-paced offense, Chris Paul out there throwing oops, getting to that free throw line, stop, pop, shot, alley-oop. Chris Paul was a force to be reckoned with. And so back then, I could see Pat Bev saying, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep before I got to play the Clippers. I'm going to sleep before I got to deal with Chris Paul. Chris Paul with Devin Booker, still a scary duo. That team, can't deny they were the number one seed. They had a bad night, and that happens. Michael Jordan has had subpar nights. LeBron James has had subpar nights. It doesn't change the fact. And when Matt Barnes, his comment was, you're not that guy. Like, you're not Anthony Edwards. You're not Karl-Anthony Towns. You're not Reggie Miller. You're not Michael Jordan. You're not Kobe Bryant. Why are you talking down to a Hall of Famer? And I get that. Now, this is the other thing, though. In the media, they pay us for our opinions. The media also pays players to do what he did. Why? Because now that show is getting a ton of publicity. Pat Bev is going to be in the media for the next who knows how long this offseason. It's going to become a big deal the next time he faces Chris Paul, if he has the opportunity, if Chris Paul doesn't retire. So there's a lot to this. Pat Bev is building his post-football career. He's trying to get himself in one of those seats to say, look, I'll say whatever to get the meter moving. And so I can respect that. I can respect it. He didn't completely say, he's a terrible player. He just said, look, I'm not going to sleep early against Chris Paul. I'm going to sleep at 8 p.m. against Steph Curry. I might not, me personally, I'm not leaving the room if I know I got to play Steph Curry. But he's talking about he's going to go out, he's going to go to dinner, he's going to have himself a steak, all this other stuff before he plays Chris Paul. He's not worried about him. You can't say that when you're the 7th seed and you were in a play-in game to get into the 7th seed, because they were upset. I guess the Suns must have made a comment, because I saw Anthony Edwards' video that the Suns said something about, like, you better hope you're in the playoffs or get in the playoffs before you talk to us or something to that regard. I understand the animosity, but I don't understand the slander for no reason. I don't understand trying to talk down to a Hall of Famer. You just don't do it. And that's my thoughts on that.
Pat Bev is going to be Pat Bev, right? He's an agitator on the floor. So why would he not be the agitator off the floor? I think he's clearly auditioning, like you said, to have a seat on that panel on the ESPN NBA show in 2025. And the NBA media loves Pat Bev because he stirs the pot. He gets people talking. I think it's interesting because in a battle between two kind of unpopular, like Chris Paul, I wouldn't say he's all that popular of a star. I think he's not that much. He's kind of surly. He's not that marketable. He tends to lose in the big playoff games, which is why they're having this criticism in the first place. And then Pat Bev gets under everybody's skin. So in this battle between two kind of controversial figures that not everybody loves, people are taking Chris Paul's side. And I think that just goes to show the respect they have for Paul's history, the amount of games he's played, what he's done for the league. And Beverley, I mean, he's a 6th man. He's a 7th man. He's a bench guy. So when you're talking that way about somebody else that is clearly like higher in stature than you on the NBA ladder, yeah, I think that the stars are going to come out and see the inequity there, that, hey, you're never going to be the guy who everyone is relying on in Game 7. That's just not who you are. So you don't know what it feels like to be in Chris Paul's shoes.
Yeah, and so, yeah, like you said, he's an agitator. That's his role. He's going to ride this now, this wave he's put himself on. He's going to have to go up against now JJ Redick. You know, JJ is going to have something to say about that. Matt Barnes already spoke his mind about that. So Pat Bev's going to have a long offseason. But I mean, if he's trying to get himself in one of those seats, you know, Draymond Green now has a deal with TNT that when he's done. Tom Brady has a deal when he's done. So now that's what it's about, because getting those meetings when you're out of the league, it's not easy. When you're in the league, players always want to talk to, or media always wants to talk to you. They want you on their shows. When you're done, they don't care. You know, they could care less about what you're still doing. And I think that's why so many guys, and then these contracts, again, Pat Bev sees this money. When you look at these contracts, you know, if you can get one of those big time Reggie Miller seats, or, you know, Charles Barkley and Shaq can't do this forever. I'm pretty sure they're going to try though, but they can't do it forever. Kenny Smith, you know, that's why Draymond was at the seat. Like, he fit. He's willing to talk crap. He's willing to, you know, fight and stand up for himself. So he fits in that crew. He has won championships as far as Draymond goes. So Draymond fits. Tom Brady, same thing. Championships, reputable. Eli and Peyton, Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi. You know, that's what it's becoming now. It's becoming athletes speaking their mind. That's why you see all these athlete first platforms now. You see all these athlete first movements, these podcasts, these shows. Whether Pat Bev ends up on a big time show or he gets his own, where he's just going to talk crap about people, that's what's where we're going to see. But if I were Pat Bev, I would tread lightly, because a guy like Chris Paul with an athlete's first platform, we had Kendall Shell on our show as well, and he's a part of that. In what is it, Players TV is what it's called. Chris Paul was a part of that, starting that. I'd be very careful, because there's a chance he could be, or could have gotten a spot at NBA TV or TV, Players TV. I don't think that's going to happen now. Chris Paul's like, you think I'm going to give you a job, a chance? Or Chris Paul can say, you know what? That's just a competitor in Pat Bev. I get it. Hey, let's put something together, you and I. Let's debate back and forth, because Chris Paul could kill him with one chop as far as accolades go and stats and numbers. And the funniest tweet I've seen, and I'm going to end it with this before we bring Coach Ritter in. Somebody tweeted something like, man, y'all stop tripping. Oh, it was Dame Lillard. He said, y'all stop. He didn't say it. Somebody said, y'all stop tripping on Pat Bev, man. The guy has good stats. Dame Lillard's response was, yeah, because nobody's guarding him.
Yeah.
So yeah. With that said, that's what a lot of players think of Pat Bev. He does guard all those point guards, and so they don't like him. But again, now that gives Dame Lillard, all these other point guards, Steph Curry, the opportunity to really just go at him next year and say, you know, I really don't care that it's week 1 or it's week 7 or it's week 25. I'm going at Pat Bev because I know Pat Bev doesn't go to sleep when he's playing me. He's only going to sleep when he's playing Steph Curry. So he's writing some checks that Anthony Edwards got to cash, because it's not coming down to Pat Bev hitting the big shot. Anthony Edwards and karl-anthony Towns have now, the gauntlet has been put down in the NBA, where the Timberwolves now are going to be one of those teams maybe where people are watching because they're like, what are teams going to do now? They don't like the way those guys ended the season, and they can come back and bite you.